Welcome back, everybody. Today's review is of the Jurassic World Basher Biters Ankylosaurus. So with the packaging, it's very basic. It just has the red and blue scaling background, the Jurassic World logo at the top, the T-Rex roaring in the corner, and then we have ages 4 and up, Ankylosaurus, Bashing Attack, and the Hasbro logo. And then on the back of the packaging, we have the awesome looking prototype version of this Ankylosaurus toy. I really wish the final product turned out like that. This picture is amazing. Just look at that detail that they could have put onto this figure. And then at the bottom there, we have Ankylosaurus, the little strip in the back of the packaging that you can test out the action feature with, and we'll show you that in just a minute. The authentic JW mark, the universal Hasbro logo, the Hasbro website, and then we also have Ankylosaurus, a ferocious fight for survival, and then at the bottom is the other Wave 1 Basher Biters. So here's the Anky out of the packaging, and the first thing you're going to notice is the standing issue. That bothers me because of the action feature. The leg does not stay flat on the ground. It stays up like that, causing this leg to not want to stay on the ground, and so it wobbles. Now you can put this leg down to, I guess, aid that, but it still will wobble, and eventually this leg will become loose and go down again and wobble once again. The detail on this figure is actually pretty nice. The head sculpt is great. You guys can see that it has a gold eye with a black slit and some black going around it to make the eye color really pop out. They painted the inside of the nose, and they even sculpted some teeth inside the mouth with the tongue, so the head sculpt is really nicely done. And even on the top of the head sculpt, you guys can see a very rough texture here. It even has armor plating on the head, so that's great as well. I really like the way they did the armor on this figure, because in the front, the spikes are bigger, and they kind of dull down throughout the rest of the body. That's another good thing. And the paint colors are really nice. They're very natural looking. They're not chaos effect, very vibrant lime greens and bright blues and stuff like that. It's just a very simple brown and tan paint job, which is great. The dino damage. I didn't like it in the Jurassic Park 3 toy line. I didn't like it in the Jurassic World toy line. And of course, Hasbro gave us it for the Jurassic World toy line. Though, I'm not going to lie, this dino damage isn't that bad. Unlike some of the other ones like the Growler, Charlie, or Delta, this actually looks like part of a dinosaur's body, not like some weird wishbone or whatever you want to call it on those Growler figures. But this looks more naturalistic. It's very small too, so it's not as noticeable, and it still makes the figure look good, so that's a good thing. I like the spotting on the leg. It's kind of a really cool color scheme. You see that on this side of the body as well. And there's also seam lines running along on the armor, but that's barely noticeable due to the color of the paint kind of painted over it. And it still looks nice regardless, even with that seam line, and even with the seam line around the neck. Now, one thing that kind of bothers me is on this side of the body, of course, we have the screw holes, but regardless, there's also this really nicely carved line here that does not look natural at all. It doesn't look like it's part of a dinosaur's body. It looks like they carved out that line and then they put in this leg for the action feature. I guess that's the only way they could have done it, but it still doesn't look natural to me, and it takes away the detail of this figure. Now you can see that it has 3 visible screw holes and a 4th screw hole behind this leg here, which isn't a big deal because at least that one's hidden, and I'm used to the screw holes by now with the JW toy line. There's some copyright stuff and trademark stuff on the tail here, and articulation is very basic. The only real points of articulation is this leg here. It goes back to about right there and up to here, and then this leg goes up to here and then back to there. This leg goes up pretty much all the way to here. It's very hard to move. And the other points of articulation that I guess you could count if you wanted to is the head that moves out, this leg that can go forwards and backwards, and the tail. But because they're all spring loaded, I'd really only count these 3 points right here as actual posability articulation. So the action feature ties in with the Basher Biter theme, and to get the bashing action to go, you pull back on its right back leg, and you can see that the tail will swing to the left. Now, it's pretty basic. It moves really nicely. It's very easy to get the leg to go down. You don't have to apply much pressure whatsoever. The only issue is you can't do it with one hand. You kind of have to hold the figure down, but that's not really a big issue at all. And the other action feature is the biting feature, which makes no sense because herbivores don't bite. But to get that to go, all you have to do is press this back leg forward and the neck will pop out. I guess they thought Ankylosaurus was a turtle. I don't know why they gave it this action feature. It's really weird in my opinion. I would have liked it better if to push it back, it swung right, and to push it forwards, it swung left. That would have made more sense to me. But didn't do that. It's got the stupid turtle-ish like action feature. I don't know. And it also sticks. If you guys press in too hard, you'll hear it like a click, and it sticks. You can get it to go multiple times without it clicking, but if you press really hard, it sticks. So that's kind of weird to me, but the action feature for the most part is okay. So for my final thoughts on this toy, I am really happy that we finally got an Ankylosaurus, at least a bigger scale Ankylosaurus, because we have had hatchlings and the little die-cast one in the past, but this one is more of an adult Ankylosaurus, and Hasbro never gave us one, neither did Kenner. So I'm really happy that Hasbro finally came around and gave us an Ankylosaurus toy. And also, to me, I think it's the best Basher Biter toy of this toy line. It really is a nice detailed figure. It has a nice action feature, and the screw holes aren't as prominent, neither is the dino damage, so it has that going for it. But to me, I feel like it deserves an 8 out of 10 because I do not like how it's permanently posed. And if you guys noticed, it actually has the pose of the Papo Ankylosaurus. I feel like Hasbro got this idea from the Papo Ankylosaurus. But yes, this kind of annoys me that it's sticking up like that. And plus, it can't stand, it wobbles. That's another issue for me. But other than that, I do like this toy. For $10 retail, I think it's definitely worth picking up. If you can't find it in stores, don't buy it online, though. It's not worth the price of shipping, but it is a good toy. I really do like it. So let me know what you guys think of this toy in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more Jurassic Park and Star Wars toy reviews. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys later.